review now. All right. We don't have to reintroduce ourselves. It's fine. It's okay. I think it's
Mystery Book Club.
Okay. So, hopping right into it. Non-spoiler section. This month, or actually last month, because I'm a slacker, last month's book was, in fact, Somewhere Beyond the Sea. And that says December 12th. We were supposed to review that December 12th, and I fucked that up. I should have changed that.
I had to, that's when I got really sick.
I was like, you're right.
I cannot sit up.
You're exactly right.
I was very sick.
Are you feeling better?
Yes. I felt like, when was that, Thursday? I felt like a normal human being by Sunday.
Nice.
So, yes.
That was so long to be sick.
You remember when I got that sick? I won't go into details, but I got the stomach bug. But the worst... Do you guys remember when I got salmonella in college?
Yes.
It was like that.
That's when norovirus went around?
Yes. Or yes, I got that. Whatever that was, I got that.
And yeah, when like half the campus got norovirus from the dining hall.
Mm-hmm. Yikes. It hit me in the middle of oral skills, and Dr. Johnson was like, I was standing up to leave the class, and he's like, "Oh, are you volunteering to do a singing quiz?" And I said, "No, I'm going to throw up." And he goes, "Oh." And then I emailed him, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I left like that. I really went and threw up." And he's like, "Yeah, it's okay."
He's like, "Yeah, you're good."
It was funny. I was just like, "No, I'm gonna throw up," and he's like, "Okay."
Oh, all right then. Well, then I guess you don't have to sing. It's so funny because I could so see his reaction to that, just being so, just like unempathetic of just, oh well, okay.
No, I think it was the opposite. I think he was so uncomfortable he didn't know what to say. Like usually this professor like always has a witty remark or like a quick joke. He was just like, "Oh, okay." Like, he was genuinely concerned.
Yes. Wow, what a way to start that off.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. I'm just cracking up.
That was a book.
Yes. So, Pixie, stop. Hold on. Sorry, my cat is trying to eat. Sorry. Okay. Anyway. Yes, so the book. Somewhere Beyond the Sea.
You're trying to stop your cat from eating
this fucking chicken that I'm trying to save.
You said, sorry, my cat is trying to eat. God, she's not allowed to do that.
Not on Thursdays.
This is your special diet, Pixie. On Thursdays, you starve.
Thursdays is a fasting day for Pixie. Okay.
Oh, man.
Let me read the synopsis. Okay, so if you don't know what this fucking book's about, it is the sequel to House in Cerulean Sea. I feel like a broken record because we've said House in Cerulean Sea so many times in our book presentations. Anyway, Arthur works hard and loves with his whole heart, so none of the children ever feel the neglect and pain that he once felt as an orphan on that very same island so long ago. But when Arthur is summoned to make a public statement about his dark past, he finds himself at the helm of a fight for the future that his family and all magical people deserve. There we go. Pixie, stop it. Sorry. So, this is the non-spoiler section, so if that sounds like something you're like, hey, that sounds like my jam. I love fantasy. I love found family. I love books about magical beings, then this is your jam. This is your jam. All right? So we're going to go around. Say overall thoughts, ratings. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else we say in here. Okay, go ahead. Anyone go first?
Oh. I can go first.
Okay. Hang on. Go for it.
I enjoyed it. I did not like it as much as the first one, as series tend to go. but no, it was still the same kind of coziness. I just expected more from it. But again, it hits right on the head with all of the political things, and it gets much more into that in this book. You meet a lot more of the bad guys and the uppity up positions. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'd probably give it like 4 stars, maybe like 3.9. Yeah.
Okay, that's generous for you.
I don't think. I gave the first one 4 stars. It was my favorite book of book club.
I guess you're right. I'm just really shocked.
I am right. Thank you.
Okay. Ash, do you want to go next?
Yes. So I'm going to give this rating. And usually after we talk about it, I change my rating. So this is my pre-talk rating. Also, I think I audiobooked it. So I think also the narrator may have affected my rating, and I'll get into that later. But as of right now, I'm giving it a 3.5.
Wow, 3.5.
Yeah. So kind of the same with Cassidy. I think I had some I really loved the first book, and then this book didn't hit the same. I think again, this could just be the narrator, and I guess his interpretation, like his performance of the book. But I felt like I could talk about it more later, but I felt like there was a lot of things that I wish it was more show me, don't tell me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I'm going to sit here and tell you, like I'm just going to tell you why, or instead of like putting it in the story and creating something, it's like, oh, we're going to just sit and talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. But I feel like in other parts of the books with other characters, he did that. And I was like, oh, this is like this, like, especially like, yeah, I'll get into more of that later. I don't want to go on my little rant about that. But also, I think it affects my my rating because the narrator, he does a good job, but by the middle of the book, all of the voices kind of become intermingled. Like I think he was like, yeah, every single character is gonna have a very unique voice, and he just couldn't keep up with it by the end of the book, and it was just like it was almost like nails on a chalkboard by the end of the book. And I feel like, and I hate that because I feel like, and I hate, yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
So, yeah. So I just feel like I wonder. Huh?
I said, get the rage out, get it out.
Yeah, because I feel like I think I'm also being a little judgmental, but
we listen and we don't judge.
But I wonder if I just read this book and I interpreted the tone of the book how I would have interpreted it if my rating would have been different. But I think because a tone was given to me, then it's like that was this is the tone of the book, and it's like, oh well, I didn't, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So
interesting. Okay.
I wonder because I audiobooked the first one, and I wonder if
it's the same guy.
I wonder if it's the same guy that narrates. Yeah, he has an interesting voice for Chauncey.
Really, all the children.
And Talia, he makes her so nasally.
Let me get in there. I'll make all the children sound like this.
That's literally what they sound like.
A little, but like change the pitch and the syllable, yeah.
And then
stop, dude, that's terrible.
And then Arthur
is like Sam British. Talks like this. He talks like this. And then he doesn't even give Theodore.
Not giving the little black boy like a horrible voice, dude.
He was like, yeah, you could. Like, why do you have to be sorry all the time? Like, I'm just like, I can't take, and I feel like I'm listening to it, and it's like, I feel like you put too much into this performance. It takes away from the characters because your voice is so silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you made them so silly that when they're trying to be serious, I can't take them serious.
Right.
Yeah.
Really
Especially
quick.
and Sal has a lot of serious moments in this book.
He does.
For him to
Yeah.
go on his like serious rant while being like, "Well, I think that the government should." Oh dear God!
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Really quick. Side note, since we have a brief moment of respite. Jen, thank you so much for the raid. I love you. If anyone has to raid and run, feel free to do that. Mwah. I love you all. Christy or Jade, excuse me. Thank you so much for the 25 months. I also appreciate you. Yeah. Hello everybody. Okay, now we're in the non-spoiler section of our book and we're doing the sequel to House on the Cerulean Sea. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay. Now time my turn. Okay. So let me think what the fuck I wanted to say. Oh, yes, overall thoughts. Overall non-spoilery thoughts. So here's my thing. I don't read fantasy very well, and this book was more fantasy than the first one. And I say that because the first one, because the world is bigger. Like
with like the island and stuff.
Yeah, so the world is bigger. There's a lot more magic happening. Like the first one, magic happens, but this one, like, there's a lot of magic going on. There's a lot of
your assignment this year is to like strictly read fairy tales.
I will cry. I
need
will
your brain needs to accept magic, Kylie.
Oh, I don't want to accept magic. I'm like Linus, okay? Ordinary magic. Ordinary magic and ordinary people. I like that.
Maps could have helped with that large world.
Kenzo, shut up! I'm gonna ban you. Someone ban Kenzo for me? Thank you. Someone ban Kenzo for me. Oh my god. Listen. All right? There's a lot of magic, and when people start explaining when magic starts happening, I don't get it, dude. My brain goes, and then I go, okay. Like, literally, I can't. I skip over some stuff because I'm like, I don't want to. I was like, I don't want to fucking read about this. I'm moving on. I don't want to read about it.
Wow. Kylie puts this as one of her favorite books.
It took you a day to read it.
Listen.
You skipped it.
It is one of my favorites. But it's also, I think it's because it's attached to House on the Cerulean Sea. And I think that gives it a lot of weight for me versus, and I also really did enjoy this book. Okay. I really did. I really enjoyed it. And I did read it in a day. It's true. I read 350 pages and it was a very easy read.
Minus the ones you skipped.
I did not skip any full pages. Okay. But if I saw a sentence that was like, and the magic bloomed into this green light. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to know what color the light is.
Wow.
I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care. Listen.
Wow.
I don't disgrace Miss Chapel White.
Yes.
You worked so hard on that island and you didn't even read it.
I didn't. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. It's just, yeah, it was a harder book for me to read. It was a harder book for me to read just because it's a me problem. I don't think it's a TJ Klune problem. I think it's a me problem. The reason why there is a reason why this book is my favorite. And I think it's because a lot of what Cassie had touched on in her presentation earlier in the stream, but it's just very tangible and very to real life. And there's a lot of like intersectionality in this book. And I really liked the hard-hitting topics. I liked how a lot of the kiddos that we did not see a lot in the first one got more time in this one. And I liked the lore building minus all the magic. I liked all of that. But the reason why I did not like this one as much as the first one also is it didn't have as much romance for me. And I think that's why it was harder. Because I'm a big romance girly.
wait, we're not in the spoiler section.
Not yet.
Just kidding.
Not yet. But yeah, it didn't have as much romance, and so I was a little bummed about that. I think.
Well, there was no like. I think it was a different kind of romance. There was not the like, because there's like the chase, there's the pursuit romance, which is very much the first book, and there is no pursuit in this one. It's just kind of like safe, which can be, I can see, interpreted as boring in a book. Yes.
I think if he would have did it safely in a different way. I think if it
we wanted spice.
No. Well, yes. Well, yeah. First of all, yes, I do want spice. But secondly, I think if the romance, like if they had more scenes alone, and the sole focus wasn't on Arthur, like because I felt like everything was very Arthur driven, which is fine.
I was kind of sick of Arthur by the end of it.
Yes, I was too. Yes. And anytime Arthur talked it towards the end of the book, I was like, Arthur,
he's
you
very
have
long-winded.
to say something about everything. You don't have to talk every time.
Yeah, Arthur
about
was
everything.
Just a little bit irritating in this one.
A little, and I think, and honestly, I commend that because it's hard to write kind of an irritating character as your main character. I kind of commend it, especially because he made him so lovable. It's kind of like, you know what this does feel like? It feels like when you're in a relationship and the first book is the honeymoon phase and you're like, oh my God, everyone's so beautiful. And then the second book is like, oh, they have really bad morning breath and they're fucking annoying and I want to punch them sometimes. I think that's like, we're out of the honeymoon phase of like seeing these characters and yeah, it's very, very interesting. Because I think
it's like a more realistic romance relationship in this one.
Which I appreciate. I just wish they would have evolved it past just Arthur. Anyway, we're getting to that. We'll get into that. Which, by the way, everybody that's just coming in, I know, and actually I don't think I said this at all. But we're all gonna each kind of ask a question since this is kind of like a group project book. We kind of all agreed to do this group. Yes, Ashley?
Did we?
Yeah. We all hold on. I'll flip the text right now.
We chose to do this one because it was coming out.
Oh,
we were like, why don't we just make this the last book?
Yeah. And then I said, is Ashley, are you leading? And Ashley said, I thought we were all gonna make questions. And then I was like, okay, cool. We're all gonna have questions.
Oof.
Did you forget your question?
I definitely remember that. Oh no. Hold on.
We're very professional around here, guys.
I definitely don't have questions prepared.
Okay, it's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
But I have things I want to talk about. How about that?
Okay,
I don't have questions, but I have things I definitely want to talk about.
You know, you guys totally could have just lied. The people won't know that. I would tell you guys are lying.
I'm searching questions.
You, Kylie.
What?
Unlike you, Kylie, listen, we'll add to our we listen and we don't judge and we don't lie.
Don't lie, yes.
Okay, well,
this is a book that we've already read.
Okay.
Here's the thing though.
Yeah.
Is that I think I told you guys this, that my local book club I'm in read this book in October.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
So and then you guys picked it. Well, we all kind of collectively picked it for November, and I was like, and then like early November, I was like, you guys were like, oh, I got the book, and I was like, I'm done with the book, and you guys were like, oh my god.
I don't want to hear you getting mad about me picking House of the Cerulean Sea. I don't want to hear it anymore.
All right.
Because you also
hear it first, everybody. I got shit for reading that book beforehand. All right, I want to state that for the class.
I only read it a month beforehand, and it was pure coinkadink.
You could have said something.
Both book clubs.
And we would have been like, okay, we're gonna read it anyway. But thank you for being honest with us.
We hadn't yet implemented the we listen and we don't judge and we don't lie. And I'm hearing a lot of judging right now. And I tried to be true. I was just truthful right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not judging. I'm angry.
You're angry?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm not angry.
Oh my god.
I just like to be
A little bitch.
Yeah.
So anyway, my rating. So, I'm rating this book 5 stars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everyone's shocked by that.
You said so many negative things about this book, and then said, I give this 5 stars.
Okay, listen, wait. I know how this looks. And you're like, this doesn't make sense. I can't say my favorite parts because they're spoilers. Okay, I can't say it until we get to the spoiler section. But I really love this book, okay? It was just a hard read for me. But I have to realize that is a me problem. I'm the problem in that situation. It's a me issue that I don't like magic, okay?
Do you feel like it'll hurt the book's feelings if you don't give them 5 stars?
Actually, why are we? Am I in therapy right now? Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whoa.
You're like, it's not.
Whoa.
You're like, it's a
I
me
mean
problem, but it's like you can rate it. You can still
Hold
like
on.
a book, but be like, it's a fair book, but it wasn't my fave.
You know,
the book's not gonna hate you.
I've got to leave. I've got to go. I've got to leave. I gotta leave, dude. I'm gonna leave. Goodbye.
No. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I've been off the rails. I'm gonna reel it back in.
You're a little crazy. You're a little crazy.
I'm going a little crazy. It's okay. Kylie, please come back.
Oh, she actually left. Okay.
Yes.
Well, this has happened before, and then we had to take charge of book club. This is not the first time Kylie has left book club.
Why did she leave last time?
It might have been another map discussion. That's not entirely. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I think we kicked her out and then we made it the map club.
Oh, it was yes. It was map club, and Kylie left, and we turned book club into map club.
Okay, well, we can't change it to map club again.
Oh, she's back.
We can't change it to map club again, too. Those were good days, Kenzo.
Right.
Swear to God.
This is now Magic Club.
Oh my god. Okay, now listen. It's not that I think the book is going to have hurt feelings or that the author cares about what I think, okay? I don't believe in giving a book, unless it's really bad. And to me, it wasn't that bad to where it needed like 4 or 3 stars. Granted, I've never given a book like 2 or 1 stars unless I've DNF'd it, but.
Oof. R.I.P. to On a Sunbeam.
Oh.
But yeah, math club meeting. Fine, I'll step away again. Let me leave.
No.
But I do give it 5 stars because there was a lot that I really loved about this book. I just can't quite say it because we're not in the spoiler section yet. I can't say it. I gotta keep it to myself.
I do still kind of feel like you think you will hurt the feelings of the book.
Y'all can psychoanalyze me all you want. All right? It doesn't change the fact that I gave this book 5 stars. All right? Okay. You can keep your 3.5 and 3.95678 stars. All right? I'll keep my 5 stars. Okay. Anything else that we want to say during the non-spoiler section?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay, good. All right. We're now entering the spoiler section. If I don't know if we've convinced anybody to read this book at this point, but
I don't know, you gave it 5 stars.
I did give it 5 stars, but I feel like my validity has gone down during this conversation. So there's that. But if this book sounds interesting to you, or if you've read House in the Cerulean Sea and you're like, hey, I don't want spoilers because I do in fact want to read the second book, feel free to skedaddle. You're welcome to stay if you like spoilers. Zen loves spoilers and spoils everything for himself. So if you're like that, feel free to stay. We're going to chat about it now. You've been warned. All right. The floor is open.
All right. Here we find ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
On the floor.
Okay. Anyone want to start?
Kylie? You gave it 5 stars.
Okay. All right. Well,
yes.
Let me hold on. I didn't realize I was going first with the questions. Let me pull up my questions.
You're in charge. What do you mean? Your name is on the screen.
Listen, we all said we were going to be equal partners in this. Okay? I didn't know. Hold on, let me get my book out. By the way, I'm going to have to buy a new House on the Cerulean Sea book because I bought the fancy hardback with the sprayed edges and it doesn't match my other one. So
that's what I have too because it's all that was out.
Okay. Let me. Oh, there's my book.
I need to buy the hard copy of I want to get the paper so it matches. But the hardcover is pretty, but it will drive me nuts that it doesn't match. Because I have like the house, the Under the Whispering Door, and then I would have those too. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay. So, hold on. I realized I didn't save my questions, which is very funny because I just got onto y'all. Hold on. Let me see if it's in my Google. But I do want to say this anecdote. Did either of you read the acknowledgments?
Yes.
I did. I don't remember them.
Where the J.K. Rowling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
He's like, I want to be the antithesis to J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was very, very cool. I want to read that just so the chat knows what we're talking about here. But TJ, I'm just gonna read the little anecdote he wrote at the beginning and stuff, and then at the end. But I don't read the acknowledgments, but I literally was I'm on my phone too much. I literally was flipping through the pages to take notes for book club, and then I came across where he signs it as the anti-J.K. Rowling, TJ Klune, and I said, that sounds interesting. I want to read it. So I'm going to read it because I do think this pertains to a lot of the book, and I did find my questions. So here we go. In 2022, I did an event where I got asked a question. What do you think your legacy will be? Me being me, I gave a pithy response. What do I care? I'll be dead. I still mostly think this way. The idea of a legacy makes me weirdly uncomfortable. I want to focus on the here and now, the present, and not worry about how I will be viewed in 100 years. If I even am at all. But in writing the sequel, I realized that's not quite true. I do want to be remembered as something, and it's very specific. Not the Antichrist, but the anti-J.K. Rowling. I want to be her antithesis, her opposite. Antithesis, sorry, I said that name wrong. Her opposite. I want my stories to fly in the face of everything she believes in. At the end of the day, she has no idea who I am, and that's okay. I'll still be here, chugging away, making sure queer stories are told, and I won't be doing it alone. There are so many queer authors writing stories that matter, important stories that show all the different facets of our lives. To make it unequivocal, J.K. Rowling's beliefs on trans people are abhorrent and have no place in modern society. People like her, people who believe trans people are somehow lesser, deserve to be shunned until they disappear into the ether. As Arthur says in the novel, hate is loud. He's right. People tend to love quietly and hate loudly. But here's the thing. I don't do anything quietly. I'm a loud motherfucker, and I will continue to be, especially when my community is under attack. To my trans readers, this book is dedicated to you. Without you, there would be no us. You're vital, beautiful, and you deserve everything good in this world. There are so many more of us than they are them. Yes, they're loud, and it can feel like their hate is all we see and hear. And yet, I constantly think about the 12-year-old boy I met at a small school in West Virginia. After speaking to a group of kids, this boy came up to me and said, I know about all the gay stuff. Bewildered, I replied, what do you mean? He said, last year I had a girlfriend. He came out as trans, now he's my boyfriend. If it's easy, if it's that easy for a child, why is it so hard for adults? I don't have an answer to that. Aside from this, the younger generations are smart, worldly, and they pay attention. They know what's going on, and they are furious. Between their trans classmates being attacked to books being banned from their libraries, the children know what's being done to them. And when they get old enough, they're going to make this world into what it should have been from the beginning, a place where everyone gets to be free without fear of repercussions for who they are. And then he ends this by saying, to my queer community, I write these books for anyone who wants to read them, but in my head and heart, I'm always thinking of you first and foremost. In case no one has told you this today, I'm proud of you. I know it's hard being a human. I know that it seems like things are getting more difficult, but please don't forget that while hate may be loud, we are louder, and no one can take that away from us. The anti-J.K. Rowling, TJ Klune, March 7th, 2024. That was a mouthful.
Nice.
But I thought that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And in this book, going into the questions, which, speaking of which, we do have some people in this chat who are trans. And I just want to say that we love and appreciate you so much. And you're always welcome in this space. And this book was, in fact, dedicated to the trans community. There's a little dedication at the beginning that says, for the trans community the world over, I see you, I hear you, I love you, this story is for you, which is really beautiful. And I think a lot of this actually goes into trans rights. There's a lot of mirroring into that. We have the signs that's talking about magical beings and saying magical being or magical rights or human rights or something like that, which is very much the same thing that the protests are doing right now in front of like the Capitol with all the anti-trans laws and things like that. So I thought that was really beautiful. And I think that that can be, again, the intersectionality of this is pretty big because that can be applied to a lot of things. It can be applied to queer rights, women's rights, disability rights, all that jazz. So I thought that was really cool. So my first question, just to get us started, just to get the oh, I got an alert, heavy snow starting. Good, my car's gonna get buried. Perfect. But just to get us started, my question is, what? Oh, not an ad. Sorry, hold on. Let me. Oh, fuck. I can't snooze it. I hate Jeffrey. Jeffrey, fuck you for not letting me snooze the ads anymore. I hate you. But my question is, did you see any aspects of the book that related to you in a way of intersectionality? Like, did you relate to anything in any aspect of the book? Maybe not trans rights, but you get what I'm saying.
I don't know. I find myself relating a lot to it's been so long. What's his name?
Linus?
Linus. I find myself relating a lot to Linus's perspective of just like frustration at how the world is, but you know, still being at a point, and like I don't know, he in a point in which he's wanting to help but can never truly understand. And so I think that's the perspective am mostly relating to.
Interesting. You didn't. So did you relate to Arthur at all in this book? I'm curious.
I mean, I related to his fight and for his frustration at like not being heard. But I think Arthur had a lot of personal growth he needed to go through in this book, which obviously, I mean, that's what he had his whole Phoenix scene and everything. But I think a lot of Arthur in this book was just very hurt and kind of blinded by that rage when he was doing his advocacy work. And that kind of work is not the thing you can do from that perspective. So I don't know. So like, I mean, like not particularly. I relate to his frustration at not of like doing the right thing and being like, okay, it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, I can agree with that. And I think it's very interesting that they have Sal as such like a right? What's his name?
Yeah.
Yes. They have him as a very like a mirror image of a younger Arthur. Because it talks about how Arthur, went out and illegally, quote unquote, transferred people and traveled people from place to place and things like that. And I can imagine that him and Sal are probably similar in that aspect of like having that fire and that initial, and that's super like relatable because of course Arthur's gonna get fucking burnt out. He's taking care of how many kids, and then they add another kid, and then he's trying to fight to adopt them, and he's trying to fight the laws, and he's trying to do this and that. Of course he's gonna get burnt out. That's a very high burnout field. We're in a high burnout field, you know. So I like that there was a mirror of like a potential glimpse of what Arthur used to be, because Sal is very much like, no, we're not going to do this. And it's very young and naive and youthful because obviously Arthur and Linus are against a lot of things initially because they've lived longer, and it's harder for them to be as optimistic, and it's harder for them to put faith in things because they've had their faith squashed so many times. And I really like that because I think that's what Sal was meant to be in this book, was a mirror of Arthur in a way, because we see Arthur just so burnt out. And you're right, he did have a lot of growth to do, which I think was part of the irritating factor of like, you're just like, please grow faster, grow a little faster for me.
I say let it grow.
Ash?
I think I struggled to. I don't think I really related. Like in this book, I found it harder to be relatable to the characters because I think too, it's like, I think this story is very like, again, very Arthur heavy, and I think too, it's like being I just can't relate to the issues that they're, or the trials that they're going through and the feelings that they're going through. You know what I mean? And so I think kind of what I was saying in the non-spoiler section, it was kind of like, I feel like that would have been a great opportunity to like really be in their shoes, versus I feel like there was a lot of parts where it's like, well, I'm just going to tell you. You know what I mean? Like I feel like in contrast, Friday night at the Telegraph Club, I think I said that wrong.
You did. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Last night at the Telegraph Club. Okay. I feel like she did a great job of like, you're in her shoes. Like you are feeling what she is feeling in that moment. You are walking in her shoes. You're in those characters, but I felt like in this book I'm outside of them and I'm observing them and they're telling me how I should feel. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've got the same thing. Again, like, but these are also characters that I've never been in that situation before, so it's already hard for me to see what that's like, and then it's like, you're not in not all circumstances, like, I feel like any of the situations with the kids, you were in the kids' shoes, like, with that whole instance with, that lady grabbing, David, and he's being really scared, and it's like, okay, like you're in it with him. But then anything with Arthur, it's kind of like anytime Arthur talks, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to very beautifully explain everything and make everything better. Or I'm going to, it's like, I feel like you don't get to sit in that tension because there's always a perfect time to talk about it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I wish I was in their shoes more because I don't know how that feels.
And I'm gonna go off you here for a sec because I do agree with you on that point. And I think what would have made the book stronger is if it wasn't solely in Arthur's point of view.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if we would have swapped, between Arthur and Sal, it would have hit harder on like the mirroring and the parallels between them and Sal becoming a leader. And I think if we would have had both of their point of views, because Sal was such a big like character in this book, He was so big and made me want to cry because he's so cute. And he's just turning up into a little leader and it makes me want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I think if they would have, or even if they would have done it like partly Arthur and like Zoe, and we see like, you know, like both of their perspectives, I think that would have made the book really strong. And I think because of Arthur's character in general, because Arthur is just a wordy guy. He's just a wordy guy. And when you go into a wordy guy's head, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Why do you like words so much? Stop
I know.
it. Like less words. I don't even know what the hell you're saying anymore. Or there's so many words in here. Anyway.
Or it's like, why do you always have something to say for everything? Like, I feel that makes it, Arthur specifically, so unrealistic to me personally, because I'm like, how, even when he's like having an emotional breakdown, he is like so fluent with how he's expressing how he's feeling, and it's like, just let the man not know what he's doing. Just let him be human, you know. That's the part I think I was struggling with this whole book, was like, I think there was, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like he is trying to get a message across and you can tell. Like, versus just letting the story be its own message. It's like, okay, but I have to say it. Like, I have to write it down. And it's like, which is fine. But I feel like Sal's character was so strong. Like, he like his whole like, I think the children were done beautifully, but Arthur was my big kind of gripe. That was kind of like, and now I'm taking out of, it's like he took me out of the immersion of the story a little bit,
which surprises
like,
me because we know that he can do that so well.
Right.
He did that so well in Under the Whispering Door. I'm literally thinking of Under the Whispering Door. And this is not a spoiler. So don't worry. I'm not going to spoil anything. But he does that really well on like the main character. Most of the time he doesn't know what the fuck he feels at all. And you feel it. And you're like, "Oh, I don't know what we feel either. What's going on?" And it's like, and even Linus in like like the beginning book is like, he doesn't know. He's like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm supposed to be a government agent. What's going on?" And so I agree with you. Is like, yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, I totally agree with that point of view. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or it's like, too, it's sometimes I feel like I wonder, like, there's certain times where I wonder if this is geared towards a younger audience because of how much he kind of explains things out. Like, anytime like something happens to the children and they're like, "Oh, why did this person do this?" And it's like, "Oh, because they're bad people and they're blah," and then it's like a whole thing. And it's like, or it could have been, you know, just like a knowing look, or like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like,
oh, and you know
it was
what?
kind of like textbook, like, oh, if this happened, it's like, oh, well, we have a perfect time to talk about it, or we have a good Samaritan that comes in and calls them out, and the whole town shouts hooray and kicks them out. It's like, that's so unreal. To me, I feel like that's kind of unrealistic. You know what I mean?
And you know what, though? This, I'm thinking back, this was your gripe last time.
It was my gripe last time. My gripe last time was it was too neat.
Yep.
And this is like extra neat.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is
too neat.
I'm like, give me some tension. Give me some real tension, you know?
That's what I was wanting from this one too. Is that it's not a short book. And I was just kind of expecting more from it story-wise, when it feels like they just did the same thing they did in the first book. Like, a government agent comes, and I mean, it's a little bit more intense this time because there's like laws and stuff in the limbo with all of it, but it's just the same thing that happened in the first book, where like the government agent lady comes and they do these things and they go on their little adventures and their classes, and it's just the same thing. It's just the same exact story. I liked the end. with the island and like returning it to what it originally was. I think Zoe Chapel-White was my favorite character in this, and I want more from her.
Love her.
But yeah, no, Arthur didn't do it for me, and I honestly found Sal's character a little bit too much, you know, because it was like that. Because it just kind of, there was no like development into it, you know. Sal's very shy and doesn't talk much in the first one, and then suddenly in this one he's like, you know what, I think that the world is like this because blah blah blah, and you're like, okay, which is also just like a teenager thing, to suddenly be like, actually I know the answers to the universe, Mom.
Yeah, for real though.
And so yeah, Sal's character kind of bothered me because it felt unrealistic, and that he would just randomly have this like very worldly, insightful thing to say, which I think is probably the author's opinion, but he wanted to state this opinion in this book, but needed a place to put it, and that became Arthur and Sal, which made their characters just a little bit less believable. Because he was just inserting his opinions into them.
Which, you know what?
Which is fair, you know, like he has a point he's making with this book. It just was not very, it's what Ashley said, it was told and not shown. And I think if it were shown and the reader learned it through the character's actions, it would have been a lot more impactful when there's this implied message that you pick up on and have your own interpretation of, rather than just getting fed it, which I think is also just what Arthur's character does, is he just like, I don't know, Arthur is very good to his children in this book and the previous one, but he holds their hand a lot, and there is a lot of like more letting them think more independently, where in the first one Arthur's like, no, the island is safe and leaving the island is scary for like, I don't want you guys to get hurt, and then they're like, no, like you can't protect us. And so I think there's some good elements of that in there, but you know, it's all reflections of the author's standpoints.
Do you know what I think happened?
What?
So I think I have a theory about this, and I was trying to let you guys spill your beans until I said this. So my theory, so this book, and I know you guys don't have TikTok, this book blew up on TikTok.
Oh.
He got very, not Somewhere Beyond the Sea, House in the Cerulean Sea. Blew up. Got super, super popular. Everyone was reading it. Everyone was talking about it right when it came out. And I think that pressure to release a second book and to make a statement, especially with because when he was writing this book, it is when a lot of like J.K. Rowling stuff started coming out and a lot more anti-trans laws came out, and I think that this honestly was his vent book. It was like, I have a platform now, people are going to read this book, and so I want to get it out. I need people to hear me, and I feel like this was a way for him to be heard, and he needed that. Because if we look at his other books that aren't as popular, and they're still wonderful, they're very well done, and he writes in a very different way than how he wrote this book. And I think that honestly, that's my theory.
Yeah. No, this book, I think that's very accurate, because this book feels angry.
Yes.
And yeah, I read the acknowledgments after finishing the book as well, and it was like, you know, claps to him, but also just thought it was like, see, I don't know TikTok, but I know the one trend now that's what's an odd thing to say.
Yes.
And so that's what I thought about, that I'm like, I also don't agree with J.K. Rowling's beliefs and how she stated them in a public format. But it was just kind of an odd thing to end a book with, I think. A book that's supposed to be about like acceptance. because it's a two-way street, like
Yeah.
I am a left person and have like very many liberal opinions, but there's two sides, like I don't want somebody to tell me like my opinions are invalid or dumb. Um, so even though I think their opinion is poor for the world, like you can't tell someone not to have it. And so I think it's just a two-way street, and I think that was just for his book to be about acceptance and inclusion.
Right.
I think that was just kind of an odd sentiment to end it on. But it's very, it's very jaded, it's very angry, and he has every right to be. Like this was, if he's writing magical books at the age he is and the time he's writing, like J.K. Rowling might have been like a very influential person to him growing up, and then to suddenly have it just like crumble around you and be like this thing that so much for me has like such terrible roots. Um, so it's like, yeah, he's angry and has every right to be and should be, but uh, it comes across in his writing that I think this book just feels very angry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can agree with that.
And I don't know, but it's also, the more I say that, the more I'm like, but we should be angry. The things that are happening,
Yeah.
the things that he's reflecting in the world, in his book, like we should be angry about it. Because that's like, if you don't feel something about it, if you're apathetic about it, like that means that nothing's going to change.
It's about
balance. But it's also like a thing where like if you're trying to educate a person, putting them down is not going to do it. You have to just show them, and either they're going to use this knowledge in a way that moves them towards your opinion, or they aren't. But
right.
Yeah.
I think just to piggyback off what you said, it's like going back to like show me, don't tell me, like make me feel angry for Arthur. It's like you're telling me how angry he is or how terrible it is, but it's like you're not putting me in those shoes. It's like to reach that audience of people who aren't this wouldn't happen to. It's like I want to know what that, like I love your books. I want to like as an ally, it's like we want to be able to empathize, but it's like you're not letting us empathize because you're telling us. It's like let me know how, like let me be angry for these people. You know what I mean? Let me be angry for these
But
characters.
don't tell me to, don't, like, I don't want to be angry because you told me to be angry. I want to be angry because you told me the truth and I decided that I'm angry about it.
Right. Yes. And I feel like he could. It's like I feel like he had the stuff there, because it's like everything that happens in the book, you're like, oh, these people are the worst. It's like, leave these children alone. But yeah.
Well, now I feel really silly saying my gripes about this book. I just want to say that.
Why? What do you mean?
My gripes was I wanted more romance. It was a little too fantasy for me, but other than that, I really loved it. I sound so silly, but I don't know. I guess go ahead.
Yeah. No, you got
that like unintentionally very deep. But
I think for me, like I didn't mind the Vent book, but I think also it's because I also feel outwardly angry about what's happening politically. Not saying that you guys don't. Not at all. But I think it just, like, for me, it was kind of cathartic. Like, for me, I didn't feel like it was lacking, but it felt like, yeah, this is cathartic for me. In a way that, like, I guess because I have trouble kind of feeling my feelings generally as a person, which is my own issue. But for me, like, that outwardly very blatant, I feel fucking angry, makes me feel really validated, because I very much often gaslight myself in how I feel. I don't recognize my feelings sometimes, which I am working on, but it's a process. It's a process. Feeling our feelings is hard. So I think for me, like, it was just very like, yes, okay, yes, I understand, and I need stuff to be explained very blatantly to me sometimes about like how characters feel, because I do misinterpret things a lot, and sometimes it's so easy for me to like read that. But I do understand where you guys are coming from of like, because I feel that way about movies very much so, of like, just show me, don't tell me.
Right.
I hate that shit. So I do get that part also, because I do think he did that a lot more than I would liked as well. But I guess it just didn't bother me as much. What did bother me was the amount of magic, but I feel like that's a different criticism. And what bothered me was the amount of I just didn't want to read about what color fucking light came out of each fucking person. I don't give a shit that Arthur's color of light when they lifted the island was a red burning orange. And Talia's color was I don't care. Please. Just say that they all had colored light that matches their souls. All right? And say that the island got lifted out of the fucking ocean or whatever the fuck it was. Peninsula. I don't know. I skipped a lot of that.
Oh my gosh.
Just say that. Anyway.
Right.
I don't care. Listen. I knew I was in for it. Magic-wise. This is going off of... We were just talking about something very deep and now we're not. But I knew I was in for it when Linus had like the fucking seeds and he's like, and I planted them in the pot in the ground, and then they sprouted this beautiful color, and then they were all sorts of mixed flowers, and I was like, oh fuck. Oh no. This is the third chapter. I was like, oh no, this is the third chapter. We're already talking a lot of magic. Oh no. No. Yeah. Anyway. And this was...
I hate it when there's magic in my magic book.
Listen. Okay, just so everyone knows, this is probably my like top threshold. Like, this is my maximum amount of fantasy I can handle in a book. And I barely handled it. Yeah.
You will not be able to read Babel.
No.
You will hate Babel.
No, I can't do that. I can't do it. Nope. Also,
Paranisi doesn't have any magic.
Oh, that's good.
It is fantasy, but it's not magic.
Okay. I'm side-eyeing you a little.
Don't side-eye me.
I'm side-eyeing you a little. I also wish they would have smooched more. That's just me. I'm sorry. I don't get one kind of spicy scene. You're telling me I don't get to see a little hot makeout? What the fuck?
They just have a gentle love.
I don't believe that.
Right?
It's gentle.
They also
so
live
gentle.
in a house
Listen,
with like 12 children.
They go to Zoe's house to fuck, dude. They said that last book.
They did make that explain.
Right. You're telling me I don't get one little chapter of them having a nice romantic evening? I don't get one chapter of them being of Linus being like, babe, I know you've been stressed. I just want to really focus on you. Yeah. I get a stupid.
Let me take that stress away.
No, because listen, I was pissed the fuck off. Let me tell you. I'm screaming. Hold on. Let me calm down. I'm screaming. Because this made me mad. I need you to understand this. I need you to understand that I was so angry because you're telling me that he proposed in this nasty ass fuck ass hotel room.
Oh.
You're telling me he has a beautiful beach island, and instead of us having a beautiful romantic scene, I get this description of this nasty ass fuck ass motel of being like, and the wall paint is chipped, and there's a gross mattress, and and there's nasty carpet. And then I pulled out a ring, and he pulled out a ring, and he asked me to marry him. What the fuck is that shit? What the fuck is that shit?
And it was
No!
Kylie, have you told the people your proposal story?
We don't have to talk about it right now. It's not about me. This is not about me. Okay, you're telling me in a world of y'all just fucking got through saying how unrealistic this fucking book was, and yet I get a realistic proposal. I hate it. It made me so mad. It made me mad. I get a a realistic proposal. I don't want a realistic, but that's actually the opposite. If you're gonna make
they
everything,
had a really magical, beautiful wedding.
Orna, you don't. They didn't really go into the wedding. They didn't really go into like
where's the
details.
reception?
Right, or like
What?
same with the proposal. It was like he took the ring out. He didn't even ask him. He didn't even ask him to marry him. He didn't say, "Will you marry me?" Arthur just puts the ring on, and then they go to bed.
I don't even get a make out sesh after you just got proposed to. You're not gonna make out. You're telling me the spiciest thing I get is them in the closet and him be like, let's give him a show, and I don't get a show? You're telling me I don't get a show and nothing? I don't get a butt grab. I don't get a butt slap. I don't get a make out. What the fuck?
It's like TJ Klune was like, damn it, I need to marry them in this book, don't I? Alright, well, let's get her done.
Yeah. Or like anytime they would like compliment each other and they would say like, oh, you, what did he always say? You silly man, or they'll say something like that. I'm like, okay, grandpa.
That's like, cute though.
And now it is cute, but now I paint the picture of like, yes, now they're old.
They are not that old.
Grandpas.
They are 50 years old.
I know, but I'm like, of course they don't have sex. They're grandpas. No.
Grandpa and grandmas have sex though. Old people have sex all the time. You worked in an older adult facility.
And that was disturbing.
STDs run rampant. They'd all be having sex with each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry to anyone who didn't know that.
And you're like, oh yeah, it's horrendous.
It's pretty
also
bad.
being in a family care meeting and they have to be like, has she tried to have sex with this man again? And they're like, yes, and we are trying to keep them separate. And you're like, oh my god, please, I don't want her to break her hip again. And we're like, oh my god.
Exactly. They don't have to use condoms, but STDs, yeah, they're rampant. They're rampant up in the older adult facilities.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the amount of times I've led a session, someone's trying to give someone a handy.
Oh yeah. Or there was this one man and he was trying to make you give him a handy, and you would walk in and he would be pants down, and he's like, yeah, it was like, oh, here's your paper, goodbye. Oh my god. He was the I have a funny story about him. He has dementia, right? And so I'm like, usually at work, I'm like wearing just a t-shirt, sports bra, whatever. This day, I think I was giving a presentation, so I was like wearing something nice, and like, I guess, and this is important to the story, but I was wearing a normal bra, and so I'm talking to him, like he's like not wanting to come to lunch or whatever, and he's looking at me, and he just goes, when did your tits get big? And I'm like, you know what? You could just sit here and not eat. And I walked away. I was like, you have freaking dementia, but you noticed when I wore an underwater bra. Like, you little. And to paint a picture, he looks quite literally like the old man from Up. So imagine the old man from Up
Carl
telling you, yes. Imagine Carl being like, when did your tits get big? And you're like, God, Carl, whatever.
Carl knows what's important. He knows what's important. He's like, titties, thems I pay attention to. I got enough short-term memory for that.
Oh, right. I was like,
oh my god.
Okay, so anyway, so back to my point of how old people having sex is realistic. All right, give me some realistic sex. Give me some realistic gay sex. How about that?
Whoa, Kelly did want spice.
Give me some realistic gay sex. You're telling me they don't get freaky? He's magical. He's probably like, hey baby, let that phoenix out. Let that phoenix out for a minute. Let me see that bird.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's really spicy.
Maybe you should write the fanfic.
Period.
Kylie writes fanfic of Arthur and Linus.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm pleading the fifth on that one.
Oh my gosh.
So those are my gripes about the book.
Wow, so we've basically just slandered this book all this whole time.
I know, I feel bad. Because it's a great book with a very important message.
5 stars, exactly.
5 stars.
And it's I just felt let down.
Yeah, I think the expectations were high.
I was also disappointed.
I was just disappointed that there wasn't no game and sex.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Okay.
Or
maybe we should throw a romance in the mix of this for this year. We'll throw in a romance.
Oh. We've not done that in book club.
Okay, well, my romances that I've all read are gay, so I'm curious to see what you guys pick.
Oh.
Kylie, every book you pick is gay,
and
yet we read all of them.
I'm saying the spicy romance is gay, so I've never read a straight romance book.
Okay, and give us your romance books.
I don't know if y'all are ready for that.
What?
Yeah, we're grown.
We're grown.
I'm a grown up. I'm a grown up.
Yeah, what do you mean? My frontal lobe developed this year. It just
fully developed. Yeah. My prefrontal lobe is officially fully developed.
But listen, none of you guys munch box though, so I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, well, I just read a book and they did anal, and I don't do that either, so I still read it. I'm just saying, they were doing some freaky shit that I don't do, but I still read it.
Freaky shit stuff. I'm dead. Oh my god.
So what did you
I don't
think
see the
about
difference.
Lucy and his records?
I'm literally crying.
No, not Lucy.
Oh my god. Do we have to talk about children right after that comment? Oh my god. Okay. Sorry.
I was just trying to bring the rating back down on your stream, Kylie.
That was so fucking funny. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I was expecting that sentence to come out of Ashley's mouth.
Anyway.
Yep.
Point taken. Kylie, pick whatever romance book you want.
Right.
Even if there's butt stuff.
There's gonna be no penises involved.
Because look, if we don't like it that much, we'll just do what you did with the magic. We'll just be like,
we just won't read that. We'll just skip that part. It's actually...
We'll read all the cutesy, they're being so romantic. And then if it gets too much, we'll just be like, next page.
Next.
I don't know.
I have read one single spicy book. And it was, and it was when I was on an airplane in between my mother and my grandmother. And I was reading it on my phone, and then the scene would come up, and I would have to dim my screen. Yep.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining that right now.
I remember what book that was. We've all read that book.
What book? Oh, I did read a straight romance. I did read a straight romance one.
I'm so sick of it. Hot take, we don't need any more Hades and Persephone retellings in this world.
Unless it's
gay. There's been enough.
If it's gay,
you can twist it. Sure, you can twist it. But I'm sick of it. I have not read Lore Olympus in so long, because it was, first of all, that portrayal of Persephone pisses me off.
Yep, I was about to say that.
And I'm just like, okay, nothing is changing. You keep doing the same thing.
So, Cassie, back to your question. So sorry. What was your question?
Oh, it was not a real question.
Oh,
it was just a divergence.
It was a fake question.
Lucy is just my favorite character ever, and everything he says is my favorite.
I love Lucy.
Yes.
I will say that my favorite character out of this book, particularly, was probably Fee. Really loved Fee.
I do like Fee. She was so kind to all her siblings.
Yeah,
I did like those. But she's still very embarrassed by it. Yeah. Like,
so cute.
she did the kind of things that, like, he was trying to get off with Sal being all insightful and stuff, but it was too much. It wasn't realistic. But Fee, was very kind to her siblings, but then would be all embarrassed about it and be like, but you're also a butthead, which is very sibling.
Yeah.
It was very realistic.
Very cute. Ashley, who's your favorite out of this book?
I think
not
it was
Arthur.
David. No. No. Least favorite character, which I hate that. It breaks my heart because he was one of my favorites from the last book. But I think David's my favorite character because he's just so cute. I just love the pure innocence of him, and also I think this is also a good example of that he showed us his trauma through how he acted. Like,
yes, very true.
You didn't know what specifically happened to David, but how he interacted with the adults, some of the things he mentioned but didn't really explicitly explain, like how he interacted with the other children. Like, I thought he was done very well, and I also he was just so cute. He's just like, I am a one-act man, and I wrote this 4-hour play that you will have to sit through. And it's like, yes, I want to sit through the
and that's
whole
so
play.
kid. That's like such a kid thing too, to be like, I made this play. But no, I like that too. That you learn about his character by the way he acts and not just what he says. Which is, and that's also just like very much how kids process and learn things is by playing. And what's the word? When you like reflect it onto somebody else, it starts with a P.
Project.
Yes. Children play. They project their feelings through play. Well, they express their feelings through play by projecting it onto like these little fictional things and stuff. Which is why Bluey is a masterpiece of a TV show.
Love that show.
But no, that was so then it is frustrating because TJ Klune has clearly shown that he can write like that, but he does not do it with all of his characters.
Nope.
I think he lets his personal bias get in the way with Arthur.
Yep. Well, and I think also it's like it's something that Ashley said reminded me of it. Thank you for fishing, Ashley.
You're welcome. I gotta get my money up.
I think I still have boosts on right now too, so you might get some really good stuff. Nice. But I think something that Ashley said to resonate with me, and that I think TJ Klune was trying to make Arthur a quote unquote perfect victim. Like he was really scared to make him imperfect, and he made him so perfect that it was imperfect because it was like, okay, well this is now like unrealistic and too much. Like you have to let him be imperfect, and he does that with all the other characters. He makes them imperfect in so many ways, and like how Linus proposed in the nasty ass motel, like imperfect, but.
Well, and then like Linus also, like I liked that they had a little fight scene in there too. Well, not fight, but they just kind of bickered, and then Linus and like cause what's his face, Arthur, kind of like lashed out at him and let some of his anger out on him, and then Linus just took it very graciously and was like, yeah, I don't know, like I'll never understand what you've been through, and he is just he's just there, but that's kind of what's important, is that he is there.
Yep, I agree with you on that. Absolutely. Okay. Excuse me. I had a cough because you guys made me laugh so much. I have mucus in my throat now.
Sorry, you're so fucking funny.
God, I've never been funny a day in my life, so I don't know.
Oh, stop.
Okay, do you guys have any other sentiments before we do our fun questions?
Oh, you have fun questions?
Just our fun questions we normally do.
Oh, yeah. I forgot how book club worked.
We haven't done it in a month, so to be fair, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, so soundtrack. What do we think?
Oh.
It's a little different this time.
I think I said this for his last book, but I feel like just the soundtrack would have been like general, like those old 90s family movies where it's like do 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 do, like there's no actual music happening.
But sorry, like, can you do that one more time? Can you explain that one more time?
So okay, Matt. So it's violins, right? Mm-hmm. Or it's like in like it's an orchestra, and it goes like do 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 do, and it's like they're making the mess in the kitchen, and it's like like and you're like, oh, what's going on in there? Whoa, nothing crazy. That's what I feel like the soundtrack is. You know what I mean?
I see that.
Oh, that scene was very cute, though. The little birthday. The birthday one was so cute. Sorry. Mm-hmm. You know exactly what she's talking about, Zen? That's because you're old.
Kylie, that was so rude.
Whoa. Whoa.
You're right. Zen's actually the youngest one here. I shouldn't call him old.
Oh, you're welcome, Zen.
Yeah, so you're saying 90s
sitcom? Or even like early 2000s, not sitcom, it's just like that, or The Pacifier.
What?
The Pacifier, the movie.
What?
Kylie,
I don't know what you're talking about. What movie?
With what's his name?
I don't know his name. That's why I asked.
Hold on.
The Rock?
No, he's bald, but not The Rock. Hold on.
He's bald, but not The Rock.
Like Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel, yes, Vin Diesel, the Pacifier, and he's the yes, thank you, and he he. What did I say? So he is. I think he's like an ex-SEAL, and his this really important guy who created this chip goes missing or he dies, and so Vin Diesel is his new mission is to guard his family because there's assassins who are trying to kill his family to get to get to the guy to get the chip.
Oh.
And it's supposed to be like a comedy, like he's like, I'm not a babysitter, and then like he's like their nanny basically. Like the kids think he's the nanny, and then he like tries to run the house like a military, and it's funny.
Oh. I've never seen this movie.
Cassie, have you seen this movie?
No.
Oh, what is the matter with you two?
Okay, can you give another example then? What's another example?
Okay,
you got it. Is it kind of like how like Shark Boy and Lava Girl or something?
No, it's like more. It's more like a comic, like a live action kind of like sitcom-y movie, like maybe like Cheaper by the Dozen or Beethoven or like stuff like that. You know, where it's just like it's like a melody. Like there's not it's not an actual like song or anything. Like it's just
I got you.
This is for the movie and that's it. There's
it
nothing
almost
else.
Sounds like it almost sounds like what you would call it, like noise effects almost.
Yeah, it's like filler sound. It's not music, it's just filler sound.
OST, original soundtrack. That's correct. Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, I got you. Okay, so just filler. Okay. Yeah.
That's how I imagine this.
Okay, Cass?
Mm-hmm. You know, we've spent so long in this subject that I can't hear anything about doo-doo. Doo-doo. It makes sense. It really does.
Yeah.
I'm going very opposite. I've thought about this.
Okay.
because I did catch the angry tones. But now that we've really talked about it, I feel really good about saying this. I felt weird having this opinion earlier. But now that we've talked about how angry it was, it makes me feel good. So for me, you guys have not seen Arcane, have you?
Yes, I have.
Ah,
very good.
Okay.
Cassidy, you need to watch it.
Yes, Arcane's so good. Season 2, amazing. Made me cry. So I vision it like that. So like Arcane is like mixed with like a lot of like actual artists that create songs for the show, if that makes sense. And like for certain characters or certain like it's like for certain characters or for certain circumstances, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And that's how I imagine it. Like it's actual songs written for here. So kind of like how Ashley was saying, but with lyrics. And angry. It's all angry.
It is all angry.
It feels angry and sad. Angry and sad. And that's how I felt. And so that's what I think. Because I feel like Arthur in like the courtroom, like when he's all like phoenixy, needs to be like, you know, have that wah, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I know I just pulled an Ashley saying that like that.
No, what do you mean pulling Ashley? What do you mean?
Do.
Oh yeah.
That's our theme song now for book club.
Hi, welcome to On the Same Page. Boop 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 boop. Enter Kiele.
We didn't even say our name this time. We didn't even say the name of our book club.
Page.
Literally said, oh, we didn't say the name of the book club. Yeah. I thought you meant our own names, and I was like, when we got to this part of book club, you said we didn't have to.
No. I'm saying we didn't say the name of our book club.
Yeah. 3 hours in. Welcome. What is the name? On the Same Page. Of our book club? We forget every time.
We do. It's every single fucking time. It's fine. This is just us having a kiki haha. It's okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said kinky haha. I was like, that was earlier.
We are not getting back on that subject. Listen, we can't.
That's what I'm calling rom-coms from now on, is a kinky haha.
No, please.
You want to watch a good old kinky haha tonight?
I mean, rom-coms are a little kinky.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair.
Goose, quit yelling at me.
Okay. So, we did favorite character, we did soundtrack. Who would you guys want to play our leading man? Our main man.
Oh. What's his face?
I don't know.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yep. Not Neil. I hate that motherfucker. I fucking hate Neil Patrick Harris.
That is all I can imagine when I think of Arthur.
Don't do Arthur dirty that way. No, dude. No.
I was thinking.
Too late.
No.
I was thinking Eddie Redmayne.
Hold on,
I can see that too. He does frequently play weird, quirky characters.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Or the guy from Oppenheimer, because he's a little older.
Killen.
Yeah.
Killen.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy, which is who I was gonna pick. So I'm glad we're on the same track there. But I didn't think of Eddie Redmayne.
You could say you're on the same page.
Kenzo, is that a tear for Neil Patrick Harris? Don't cry for him. That guy's the worst.
Oh.
He's awful.
Why? Why do you say this?
Yeah, why?
Okay, well, this is a tangent. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing, so I'm going to give a trigger warning that we're going to talk about overdosing and cannibalism. He doesn't actually eat people, but I would put it under that category. I would put it under really gross humor, and it's very triggering. So drug use, all that. So okay, there's your trigger warning for that conversation. This conversation about to happen. So I fucking hate Neil Patrick Harris because, as we know, Amy Winehouse overdosed. She died at a very young age. And Neil Patrick Harris, this is just one of the big reasons, but Neil Patrick Harris thought it was a really good idea to create a meat platter in her like and say that they were eating her and make fun of her for dying. Yeah. And posted it on Twitter. So that's why I can't stand him. It's a really horrible photo. I recommend no one looking it up, but it literally looks like a dead person laying there and them eating on her and being like, we invited Amy over to the party. Happy Halloween. And that's really fucked up because it was the year she died. Yeah. Or not the year she died, the anniversary she died. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a sick fucking individual to say that. Yeah. It was super fucked up. Yeah. That's why I don't like him. He's also just a racist also, but
oof.
Anyway. So there you go. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like that guy. Anyway, Cillian Murphy is who I thought. So we have Cillian Murphy, Eddie Redmayne, and Neil Patrick Harris. There we go. Yup. Okay. Any other words? Words of wisdom? Words of encouragement? Things you want to get off of your chest?
Not particularly.
Okay. Cass, do you want to announce our January book one more time?
We are reading Anxious People by Friedrich Bachmann.
Anxious people. I'll read the synopsis. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Boop, 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 boop. It was adapted into a Netflix television show? When would that happen?
They made, I don't trust it.
What
they made A Man Called Ove into a movie.
Oh, with Tom Hanks. I hate that guy.
They Americanized it
Ugh.
and made it like a man called Olaf or something. And
what the fuck?
Stupid.
Otto. A Man Called Otto. That's what
Otto,
it was, right?
That's what I meant. I was like, Olaf isn't an American name. Olaf is a snowman.
A happy snowman. Okay, here's the synopsis for Anxious People by Friedrich Bachmann.
Friedrich. Say Frederick one more time.
Friedrich.
Good God. Good God.
If I say it in that voice, it sounds right. Friedrich Bachmann. Friedrich.
All right. Anyway.
Okay, so a poignant, charming novel about a crime that never took place, and a would-be bank robber who disappears into thin air, and 8 extremely anxious strangers who find they have more in common than they ever imagined. And then it goes into looking at real estate isn't usually a life or death situation, but an apartment open house becomes just that when a failed bank robber bursts in and takes a group of strangers hostage. The captives include a recently retired couple who relentlessly hunt down fixer-uppers to avoid, and then there's a wealthy banker who has been too busy making money to care about anything else. A young couple who are about to have their first child but can't seem to agree on anything, or where they want to live, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, there's a lot of, like, extra things from this synopsis that I decided to pick. Anyway, add to the mix an 87-year-old woman who has lived long enough not to be afraid of someone waving a gun in her face. You've got the worst group of hostages in the world. There you go. I'm going to edit that because this Goodreads, fuck you. Also owned by Jeffrey. Fuck you, Jeffrey. I'm going to keep saying that. It's going to be their stream title. Fuck you, Jeffrey Bezos. Anyway. Jeffrey Bezos. Jeffrey. Anyway. So there you go. That'll be January's book. February's book and March's book will be announced in the Discord. In the ghetto. In the Discord.
In the Discord. In the Discord. Look for Brooklyn.
Yeah, it will be we wait Christmas.
Listen, today was day 2 of 3 of caroling.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
A certain someone will let me put fuck in my stream title either. Fuck you, Jeffrey. Fuck you.
Oh.
That's impeding on my rights. My freedom of speech. What the fuck? I'll say fuck all
Jeffrey
I want.
has this. He doesn't care if you do.
You know what's funny is I actually did a whole presentation on Jeffrey in high school.
What do you mean? Why?
Exactly what I said. It was for business class. And we had to pick a CEO and do a presentation about him. And the whole presentation, I dogged on that man. So this hate really goes, it's deep-rooted. It's deep-rooted hate.
Nice.
I picked really ugly pictures of him and put them all in my PowerPoint.
Nice. We should do another presentation like that.
Yeah, I think so. Presentation night?
Yeah.
Not about books, just random?
Yes.
Beautiful. That's just for us. That's not for you guys.
Sorry. When I was in school, I did a project on scuba diving because I thought I was quirky.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm different. I need to make my special project different. I'm different. So I did an entire presentation about scuba diving.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if that's it, then we'll close up shop.
Boop boop a doop boop. Book club.
And we're gonna cut all of that and make it into our theme song.
Yes.
People. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. Per usual.
Thank you.
We'll figure out when we're having next book club. We'll announce it. I know. I miss them too already. They're leaving so soon. They need to come on streams more. If you guys beg, maybe they'll come on stream more. I bet they will.
Yes, beg. No, I'm kidding.
Beg for us. Get on your knees.
Please.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Okay. Well, come on, more if you really want to.
I'm convinced.
Well, that concludes book club. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. What time is it? It's 9:30 for me. I might keep the stream happening. Might keep the stream going here. We'll decide. But we're gonna say bye to Ash and Cass first. Goodbye. Everyone say bye. All right. I'll do a quick BRB and I'll see you guys later in a minute. I gotta pee so bad. Okay.